I'm in my villain era, but I'm just saying no. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk to the divine feminines and to my empaths out there. Let's talk about holding your boundaries, feeling into tension, and standing your ground. This is how we're going to really practice self-love. I feel like this video is something I'm learning to embody in my own life right now. You guys know that I use tarot as a tool of spiritual guidance, and I keep pulling the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands card is all about standing your ground. There is a character in the middle, and there's all these wands coming for him or her, and they're standing there in the middle with a wand, and they're standing their ground. They're defending themselves. So it's about taking a stance in your life, and this is what I want to share with you and remind you. It can be especially hard for a divine feminine, but I'm going to give you some examples of how I've done this in my own life and ways that you can do this as well in your own. And if this is your first time here, my name is Sasha, and I'm a love and wellness intuitive coach. And here we talk about healing from the inside out. We talk about love and relationships, self-love, and our spiritual journey. So if you need help in one of those areas and you want to work with me one-on-one, then check the link down below. Send me an email and we can talk about it. Okay, so holding your boundaries, this is important. And boundaries is one of those words that used to make me cringe. Boundaries are a way that you can do what's best for you and what's healthiest for you and everyone else, even when it's hard. Boundaries keep you in alignment, and they keep you connected to your true self. This world is gonna try you. People are gonna try you. And also, we're being tested on our spiritual path. We have choices to make at every turn. So it's beautiful to learn how to stand your ground and stay true to yourself. Practice boundaries in your life, because it's how you're going to embody spiritual growth. It's funny to me. It's especially funny to me. I've noticed that with the divine, with God, sometimes people might look at me and feel like, oh, she's friendly, she's sweet, she's pretty, she must be naive, she must be easy to take advantage of. But you want to be careful, because God sees everything and can see into people's hearts and their intentions. How do you treat people, you know? And so the people who really get to know me know how strong I am, you know? And so there's a lot of fierceness to me, and this is what I want you to embody as well. So when we talk about being a divine feminine, when we talk about being on your spiritual path, you're a spiritual warrior goddess, okay? And it can feel conflicting sometimes, because as a feminine being, when you're really connected to your heart space, you are embodying unconditional love. So this can feel like it conflicts with having boundaries. And remember, the world is going to try you. So people might try to shame you or guilt you or tell you that you're not being loving or you're being selfish if you have boundaries in your life. But I want you to stay connected to your inner voice and what is best and healthiest for you. This is how you're going to honor yourself and do what's best for everyone. Okay, so if you're a parent, this is a perfect example. Sometimes your kids or your kid might want to do something, but the answer is no. It's not the right time for it. It's not what's best for them, and they might cry, scream, call you mean, say you don't love them, and all these other things, throw a fit. But ultimately, you're not making that decision because you don't like them or you don't love them or you're trying to hurt them or be cruel. You're making that decision because it's what's best and it's what's healthiest. And later on, they might come to see that. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But you have to learn how to stand your ground and feel into the tension. See, if you're an empath, then you know that we normally want to keep the peace. And this can turn you into a people pleaser. You might take a higher perspective, like, you know what, just give them what they want, or I'm not even going to engage. I don't want to be in conflict. And you might run away from conflict because you want to feel calm and to be in a soothing energy. You might want to just give people what they want because, you know what, I don't want to deal with it. It's not worth my time. It's a waste of energy. But you have to feel into tension, and it's how you're going to learn to be strong and build inner strength. Guard yourself, preserve your energy too, like for you. So sometimes you need to stand up for yourself. Sometimes you don't have to run from conflict or tension. Just simply speak up for yourself. You don't have to fight. You don't have to argue, but you do have to learn how to stand up for yourself. And this is you being in your divine feminine energy. Stand up for what's right. Stand up for what's best and for what's healthiest, what's true, what's in integrity, what's in the light. And it's going to sometimes rub people the wrong way because we're each mirror reflections of each other. But it's not your job to manage everyone's feelings. It's your job to open your throat chakra and speak what's true. Stay in the light. And this is how you're going to stay connected to your divine feminine energy. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. But some people are not going to want to hear it. Some people are going to want to fight. It's not about you fighting, but we want to learn to not run from tension, but just feel into it. And it feels uncomfortable as an empath, right? But it's how we're going to grow spiritually. You guys, it's really cool. I love talking about boundaries, especially from a spiritual perspective, because so many of us, when you're on your spiritual path, you're connected to oneness. You realize that it's one love. Everything's connected, and you're probably a highly sensitive person, an empath. You can feel others' energy, and you are all about love, keeping the peace, being calm, serenity, harmony, balance. You're always trying to balance things out. So if someone's in a bad mood, for example, or they have a bad energy, you want to send them a good energy. You want to say something positive to them. You want to uplift their spirit, not just for them, but for yourself as well, because you are now balancing the energy because you're feeling their energy as well. You're a light worker, you're here, sent from the divine, and you are on your divine mission. Okay, I get it. So boundaries can seem cold. They can seem selfish, like you're not caring about others, but I want to emphasize that boundaries, they preserve the health of, it's in a sense your masculine energy. But as a divine feminine, we're balancing our feminine energy and our masculine energy. And so boundaries are about order, discipline, self-control, and having limits, having guards up. Think of long gates that are preserving a kingdom, or even the fences you might have around your garden so that the animals don't come and nibble on the plants that you're growing. So, right? The loving part of you might be like, well, it's not my land. Let's feed everyone, But at the same time, if it's for the health of the plant, right? If you're feeding your family. So limits, it's about balance here on earth. We can't just be in our feminine. We have to also practice boundaries. Okay, so preserve the health of. Boundaries are a good thing. It's not about having walls up so that you're not loving. It's about having walls up to preserve the health of. That's how I see it, and I have to remind myself of that. Stand your ground, feel into the tension. And it's beautiful to practice this for yourself, because this is true self-love. Being a doormat, and that's a harsh word, being a people pleaser, trying to appease everybody, make sure nobody gets mad at you or nobody feels some type of way, like that's actually not going to serve you. You crush your own spirit that way. You need to stay true to you, and everything's happening for a reason. So when you feel into tension, when you hold your boundaries, and when you're in the light, it's serving a purpose. You need to be strong because it's also helping other people, right? Like if we use the example as a parent, if your child wants to eat 3 bags of candy, like that's going to hurt their tummy. You have to say no. It doesn't matter if they cry and scream. Like it's not healthy for them. You have to learn to say no, and you're going to be the bad guy sometimes. And that's the hard part, that a lot of times we don't want to be the villain in someone's story. We don't want to seem like the bad guy, because we're not. But you have to release other people's perceptions and stay connected to your truth, which is found within. So this is another way to practice boundaries. What are some of the boundaries that I've practiced in my own life that at the time it feels awkward? It feels it feels uncomfortable, but it's actually serving everything. me and everything around me. Well, I can think back to a past relationship that I ended like back in 2020. And at the time, I might have seemed like a villain, right? Like if you're going through a breakup because it's an unhealthy relationship or a toxic relationship like this relationship, it was way past the time that it was supposed to end. It was very unhealthy, like super unhealthy. But I was going to become a single parent and I was afraid, but I had to stay connected to my true self, right? And this is what I want for you too. If it's a no for you, let it be a no. You got to hold to that, even when it's hard. And that's where the spiritual test comes in. Are you going to just give in? But what if it's hurting you? What if it's hurting others? I had to think about my child in that situation. What kind of environment do I want her growing up in? What do I want her seeing and absorbing, right? So even though others might see you as a villain, they might see you as the bad guy. Like, I'm sure that, in that past relationship, I was probably being seen as a villain or a B word, or, oh, you're breaking up a family. You're being selfish. You're being unreasonable. You're being, you're giving up. You're abandoning the relationship. Like, you're hurting me. Well, don't you love me? And these are deep things, right? But then by me standing my ground and just feeling into that tension, knowing that, okay, I've done all I can in this situation and it's not aligned for me, then I had to let it go, which is a huge spiritual practice. I had to hold to my boundaries. No, I want what's healthiest for me and my child, and so standing your ground, saying no, even when you're the bad guy. So what does holding boundaries end up doing for you? Well, first of all, it teaches you how to choose yourself, which is you honoring your soul, your spirit, and staying in alignment. God's going to bless you. Like you're going to feel more ease and less tension. You're going to move into a healthier place, find inner peace because you honored yourself. But it's not even just about the self. You honored what's best and healthiest for everyone involved, even when it's hard. These are how boundaries serve you. It also taught me like how to have standards, right? So boundaries can also be seen as standards, right? Standards. Being in your queen energy, your goddess energy. It's not about being mean or cruel. It's about feeling into tension even when it's hard. Okay, so what's another way? Another way that I have to feel into tension and be a villain in someone's story sometimes, and this happens a lot, okay? I know it happens to you too. I just posted a short about it because it's funny. But saying no to events and even phone calls. You guys, I did not have this when I first started my spiritual awakening, like around at the end of 2020 and into 2021, and I did not have a phone. Like I had Wi-Fi, but as far as phone calls, I just didn't have a phone for a long time, like 1 or 2 years. And I was preserving my energy. I was going through a deep renewal, awakening, spiritual practice. I'm like, I started to protect my energy. No, I'm going to contact you when it suits me. Like I'm a mother. I have my own, I'm an entrepreneur. Like I have things to focus on. I was focused on my healing spiritually, which takes time. You cannot heal overnight. Like I know we want to rush the process, but it takes time, sometimes years, and that's okay. It's all serving a purpose, staying connected to the divine, right? So saying no to phone calls and to events, you're going to be the villain in someone's story. Oh, I'm in my villain era, but I'm just saying no. And I'm feeling into that awkwardness. Oh, for real? Like, oh, you ghosted me? Like, oh, you didn't want to talk to me? Like, do you think you're better? Like, not even do you think you're better, but it's like, oh, she doesn't want to hang out with us. Like people can take it personally, but in reality, it was never about them. It was about me and me preserving my energy and pouring it in with intention to the areas of my life that I needed to. I was transforming. So no, I wasn't interested in partying. I wasn't interested in going out. That was not where my mindset was, right? Like if I spent 30 years living a certain way, okay, now it was time to change and time to heal. So that takes time and effort. You can't be in 2 places at once. Like I couldn't give my energy to that phone call or going out. That's not what I was interested in. That's not where my mindset was, right? So some people are going to see you as selfish, but it's okay to have boundaries. It doesn't mean that you're going to be in that season forever, but it is okay to say no. And that's basically what boundaries are. And feeling into the tension, because people will get upset sometimes. But if they're meant to be in your life, if they're healthy for you, they're going to respect your process, your journey, and who you are. See, real love is not about controlling. It's about giving people space to be free. Sometimes we're coming closer together, sometimes we're apart, but it's still love regardless, right? So your real friends are still going to be there for you. And there'll be a time to hang out, but sometimes you got to say no. Like, no, just say no. Yeah, I was focused doing me. And that's the truth. Like I'm still focused doing me. And it's interesting, like, I come from a huge family, like I've shared with you guys before, my daughter, she'll be FaceTiming and she'll want to FaceTime, and they're having like a big party, and they'll be like, where's your mom? But I don't want to talk. It's not that I don't love them. It's that I'm focused doing me right now. Oh, and I'm working. So what are 2 other ways that I've learned to practice boundaries in my life and feel into the tension and stand my ground? Well, when it comes to speaking truth here online and to the collective, it's a process, right? But at the end of the day, you have to know who you're serving. And that's what boundaries, they keep you connected to your true self, your soul, which is God in essence, right? So your connection to the divine is not outside of you, it's within you. And that's what you need to be nourishing, honoring, respecting, and moving in integrity with. So when I am expressing my true self, I'm in authenticity. There's no one to please. It doesn't matter if other people agree. If they do, okay, we're in alignment and they'll come closer. If they don't, then that's not my issue. My issue is to stay true to myself. That's my responsibility, to be in the light, to speak from my heart, to open my throat chakra, right? And to be honoring my inner truths and sharing them with the world. And that's how I've connected with so many of you beautiful souls. Like if you're here, if you're still watching the video at this point, like drop me hearts down below, because you're part of my soul tribe. Like for you to be this far into the video and still watching, it means that you resonate with the words that I'm sharing with you. And that's a beautiful thing. But yeah, speak your truth. Even if it makes others feel uncomfortable, that's okay. We don't have to agree all of the time, but you're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to be you and make sure you're authentic. Like, this is how you honor yourself and give yourself room to be you. There's a reason that you feel that way. There's a reason that you're so unique. You're meant to be who you are. You're what this world needs. Let the divine work through you, because it could help heal somebody. It could help awaken somebody. It could help encourage somebody and then feel connected, like in a space of love, like connection to each other. So that's a beautiful thing. So don't be afraid. Stand your ground and say what's really in your mind and heart. Even when it's hard. And that's the main thing with boundaries, is they feel hard. It feels hard for an empath to say no, or for a divine feminine, because we're like, are we not being loving, right? And then other people, what are their intentions? They might call you selfish. They might call you mean or cruel or cold or detached or whatever, but lean into the tension. Okay, stand your ground. All right, one more. Okay, this one's interesting, but I have to share it with you. You know, when you're on your spiritual path, sometimes there are gonna be people in your life that you have to release, let go of, or get some separation from. It could be family, friends, people close to you, and partners or relationships, friendships. You know, if you've had an awakening, how many people have left your life? Like they just kind of fall off the wagon. Like you're on an ascension journey and you're going up and you could be accelerating pretty fast. Like, have you been doing the inner work? Like I told you guys, I didn't have a phone for 2 years. What was I doing? I was learning about my inner self and about energy, vibration, manifestation, the occult, hidden truths, right? Releasing my past conditioning, the religion, and learning about the matrix and the lies behind the scenes, how we're fed lies about the food industry and how like nature can heal us. Just have an apple, like it's good for you, fiber, water, and all the things you need, vitamins, you know. And so it takes energy, it takes effort. So think about vibration, think about you vibing higher. If some people cannot match your vibration, not only do they not understand you, but they don't want to be around you. So it repels them. It can irritate their spirit because it makes them look back at themselves. And if they haven't done that, if they haven't awakened in that way, it might bother them because, oh, who do you think they are? And now they start projecting. Who do you think you are? Oh, you think you're this, you think you're that, or whatever. So some people don't deserve a place in your life. Okay, I said it. They don't. They don't. You can't learn to create distance if they don't deserve you, okay? And might use shame or guilt. Oh, do you think you're better? But it's not about that. It's about choosing what's best and healthiest for yourself. This is what boundaries help you to do. And this is why it's spiritual growth. And I'm going to be honest, I feel like it's women who struggle with this most. Sometimes it can be men, but it's not about hurting people's feelings, but it's about honoring yourself and staying in the light. Who do you want to please? Do you want to please the divine? Or do you want to please man? Like, do you want to please people? Do you want to please your ego? Or do you want to please your spirit? And you can love people by being in truth and not going along with just anything. Stand for something before you fall for anything, you know? And so that's why connect to your warrior energy, your goddess warrior energy. Because if you're a light worker, if you're a divine feminine, your number one obligation, your number one devotion is to the divine. And I want you to remember that, you know, and this is why we learn about health and we practice healthy relationships, even things like celibacy and healing and growth, even you loving your partner, your twin flame. But all of this is coming from your connection to the divine, your spiritual walk. And some people simply do not deserve to be in your energy. If they're tarnishing it, if they're lying, if they're trying to tear you down, belittling you, criticizing you, or trying to just poke at your energy, like they're a hindrance to you on your journey, attacking you. I've shared on this channel before, maybe 3-4 years ago, how two of the people closest to me, when I decided I didn't want to smoke weed anymore, that rubbed them the wrong way and they completely flipped on me. It wasn't like, okay, like I respect your decision, like maybe we won't hang out as much. It was like they turned on me. It was a spiritual thing. It was like their demons came out to verbally, physically attack me and say the craziest things to me. It will happen to everyone who's on a true spiritual path because spiritual warfare is real. Energy is real. Light and dark, it's real on earth. So you have to learn how to protect your energy, your purity, your light, and cleanse your energy. Like, stay in the light. And how are you going to do this? Boundaries, standing your ground, feeling into tension even when it's hard. So I hope this video helped you in some way. Check the links down below if you want to work with me, if you need help on your journey. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm sending you love, power, healing on your journey. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.